Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. We have a new episode of Falcon Winter Soldier, so let's talk about it. So, the Falcon Winter Soldier. We only have one episode left. At this point in WandaVision, we had 4 episodes left, so that's really interesting because this show only has 6 episodes. I feel like it should be a bit longer, but anyway, be sure to tell me down below in the comments what you thought of this episode and what do you think is going to happen in the finale, and are you excited for it? And with that said, also, I did more of these Marvel Disney Plus show reviews and rankings. You can check those out right up there. With that said, let's get started with my review. I'm gonna go into this starting off with my general thoughts. And as a whole, I thought this was one of the better episodes of the series. Because, I mean, I've enjoyed all of them. I think all of them are good. But I feel like this one is in the top half of the ones that I've enjoyed. So, this one is much more character-based than the past 2-3 episodes. And I appreciated that about it because it went deeper into Falcon's and Bucky's character. And it also did a little bit of development for John Walker, and we get hints and clues of where his character might go next. We don't get much from the Flag Smashers in this episode. We kind of get a clue of their plan, what they're trying to do, but we don't see them. They don't have much screen time in this episode as much as they did in the previous few episodes. So as a whole, I thought this was a very good episode. I don't think it's as good as episode 4. I may have to rewatch it. Maybe my opinion will change. But yes, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. But as a whole, as a series, I feel like the show does have some issues. And I hope the finale kind of corrects those issues. And maybe the finale will fix those. I don't know. So my issues with the show are that I don't feel like there's enough stakes and consequences. For example, they broke Zemo out of prison. In Captain America Civil War, they made a big deal out of Avengers breaking the law. And here, they break Zemo out of jail, but the biggest consequence they have is the Wakandans. The US government barely does anything about it. So I feel like that's kind of weird because in Civil War you set up so much about what would happen if Avengers broke the law, and it has nothing to do in this show. And my second issue is that I'm not 100% sure where this show is leading towards, because we have John Walker, we have Carly Morgenthau, we have the Flag Smashers, obviously, with Carly Morgenthau. We have Batroc, we have Sharon Carter, we have the Power Broker. But who is the main villain? They make it seem like at points the Flag Smashers are the villains, but then at other points in time it seems like John Walker is the villain. So I'm not 100% sure where they're leading up to, where that definitive end is going to be. And when you compare that to WandaVision, you know what we're trying to do. Our main goal is to kind of overcome Wanda's grief and allow her to close the Hex and defeat Agatha. Here, we don't have that, and I feel like that's an issue. So those two are my biggest issues with the show as a whole. I don't think this episode has anything particular with that. But with that said, let's get into my spoiler discussion of this episode. So we're going to start off talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier because those two are our main focus for this episode. And basically this episode starts off exactly where the last one left off with John Walker. He's basically running away because he just killed a guy in front of a bunch of people recording it. So he is obviously regretting what he did. He's sad, he's kind of depressed, he's kind of tearing up. And I like that they kind of add consequences to that because he's not just normal again. He just murdered a guy. That wasn't even the guy that killed his friend. So I like that they're kind of addressing that, and I really enjoyed that sequence as a whole with some flashbacks to Lamar. It was really emotional, and I feel like it really, really hit me hard. And then Sam and Bucky show up, and they ask Walker to give him the shield because he just murdered a guy. And when you're murdering people, you can't be Captain America. And John Walker says no, but he says it belongs to him. And then there's a big fight in this place, and I loved it. This is possibly maybe the best fight of the entire series. It's in the top three for sure. I really liked it. The choreography was great. Everything about it was really, really cool. And I really liked the way John Walker was fighting. We never saw Captain America use the shield the way kind of John Walker does in this fight. Thought that was interesting, and it was pretty cool. So throughout the whole fight, we have some sequences that are kind of heart-wrenching, and you kind of feel the stakes here because we need our heroes to get the shield because we don't want John Walker to do anything bad again. So basically, in this whole fight, Falcon's wings are broken. John Walker breaks them, and he tries to murder Bucky and Falcon a couple of times. And Falcon, Sam, throughout the whole fight, he's trying to convince Walker to stop, but he's not having it. He just keeps fighting, and by the end of it, Walker loses, and Sam and Bucky get the shield. So after that, we cut to a warehouse type place where Carly was. I believe that's the place it was. And we have Torres. He comes back from the first episode. And Bucky, he goes to capture Zemo. And Sam, he leaves with the shield and he tells Torres to keep the wings. Then we have the whole sequence with Bucky. So he's with Zemo. Zemo is at the Sokovia Memorial Place, and Bucky acts like he's about to shoot him, but there's no bullets in the gun. And we saw this shot from the trailer. It's a pretty cool shot. I really liked it. Then Bucky hands over Zemo to the Dora Milaje, and they take him to the Raft prison from Captain America Civil War. I thought there's a fun little sequence where Zemo kind of has mutual respect for Bucky, even though he did just hand him over to the Dora Milaje to go to prison. But he does respect what Bucky did. He respects what he thought he had to do. So that's what I've been really enjoying Zemo about this series. We see more of his personality. We see more of his ideology, and he actually cares about other people. He respects other people. And I appreciated seeing that about him. And then we have everything with Sam. So Sam goes to Isaiah Bradley's house again, the person we saw in episode 2. And I was hoping we'd see Isaiah Bradley again because I want to know more about his story. And basically Sam asks him what happened, and Isaiah explains to him everything. And it was a really sad story. I almost started tearing up when Isaiah was talking about it. It was just very, very emotional. So basically, he was working for the military like Steve Rogers was. He got the super soldier serum, and out of everyone that did, he's the only person that survived. And basically, he saved a bunch of people that were captured by the enemy, I believe. And he saved them, and because the serum worked on him, they put him in jail for 30 years, and they experimented on him. And it's just a devastating story. And when he was in prison, his wife died, and like all of it, like it was so sad. I loved the way they kind of like were able to form the conversation between Sam and Isaiah, and the way they were talking, the way Sam reacted to it. All of it. It felt natural. I loved it. It was very, very emotional. So basically, how did Isaiah escape from the place? So apparently there was a nurse, and she felt bad for Isaiah. So she decided that she was going to create a fake report that Isaiah is dead. And then, so apparently to the world right now, Isaiah Bradley is dead. No one knows that he's alive. And that's just devastating to know, because we saw the same thing happen to Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers saved a bunch of people. He didn't get experimented on. He became a war hero. So, like, just the parallels, I really appreciated that about it. And at the end of the conversation, Isaiah says, they will never let a black man be Captain America. Even if they do, if the person is has self-respect, they will never choose to be Captain America. So I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he says something like that. And like, it was so well done. I really, really loved it. It was one of my favorite moments of this episode. It was very, very emotional, and I really, really liked it. So this leads to Sam going back to the US. He goes back to where his sister lives, and they still have the whole problem with the boat because they're trying to sell the boat, but no one's buying it because it's messed up. So Sam calls a bunch of people. Apparently his family has a good reputation, so a bunch of people show up to help him fix the boat. And Bucky, he is also there, and they fix the boat together. And there's a nice montage of them fixing the boat. And this was a fun little montage with a lot of fun little sequences. We have Bucky doing stuff easily because he has the super soldier serum. I really like the camaraderie between both of them in this episode because we see them interact as friends and, in a way, co-workers, I guess. And I really like that we got more interactions between them that felt more natural and were more funny. And basically by the end of it, they fixed the boat, and Sarah, Sam's sister, is like, I don't want to sell the boat anymore because the boat means a lot to them. It's their family's legacy, it's their family's reputation, all of that. So Sam is really happy because she decides not to sell the boat. And then Sam and Bucky start training with the shield. Well, they're not training, they're just playing catch, I guess, with the shield. And they're talking about what they should choose to do. About like the whole Captain America thing and everything going on with Bucky and the people he has done wrong to, the people that he's wronged. And yeah, this conversation was also another one that really hit hard. Sam decides that he's not going to listen to Steve Rogers. He's not going to listen to Isaiah Bradley. He wants to make his own decisions. And this is where we start to see him turn more into Captain America. And that was really cool. And in this conversation, we also have Bucky. Sam tells Bucky to, kind of make his own decisions, actually, make amends, because he says that all this time he's been avenging, not making amends. And he tells Bucky to give closure to other people instead of trying to give closure to himself, so that way even Bucky's happier and he can kind of have a little bit of more peace in his life. And just that interaction between them was really, really good. I described it the way I described it probably wasn't great, but like in the episode itself, I just loved the way it happened. And then Sam starts training. There's a big training montage. I love the training montage. I love it in origin stories when there's like training montages. And this one was really good. One of the best training montages I've seen in a while. And so we see Sam kind of like mess around with the shield. He's not able to use it. And for a while, he just keeps practicing and he gets a hang of it. And then he kind of perfects it. Not as much as Steve Rogers and Bucky, but yes, he was able to do it. And that part of the story kind of ends. And then Bucky leaves. He goes to the place where he lives. I'm pretty sure he's gonna, in the next episode, tell the old man that he killed his son. That'll be sad. That will be really, really sad. And then there's a scene where we cut to the Flag Smashers. And basically, Carly, she's working with Batroc now, the guy from the first episode in Captain America: Winter Soldier. Previously in the episode, we have Sharon, who's talking to Batroc, and she tells him to do something. So, Sharon talking to Batroc, that's obviously Sharon's a villain by now. I don't know why. I'm interested to see why in the final episode. But she's working with Batroc for some reason, and she tells Batroc to do something, and I'm guessing Sharon is also working with the Flag Smashers because she tells Batroc to help the Flag Smashers, or maybe she is the power broker and she's telling Batroc to maybe kill the Flag Smashers after earning their trust. Maybe. And then Batroc says that he's here to kill the Falcon. Basically, they're kind of the Flag Smashers and Batroc, they're uniting forces, but there's this one guy that works with Carly, and he's like, so we're working with criminals now. And then Carly goes, Haven't you heard? We are criminals. That's true. Flag smashers are criminals. So this kind of leads to so apparently there's like a whole woke going on about something, and the flag smashers are trying to stop it. So I think they're bombing the place, and I'm really excited to see where that goes, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a huge final fight or something in the final episode. I'm really excited for all of that stuff. We finally got to Sam, and they've been setting up this briefcase that Bucky gave Sam, and I'm guessing it's the favor he asked the Wakandans, because he asked the Wakandans, I need another favor, and he gets that and gives it to Sam. I'm guessing it's like a vibranium suit with vibranium wings, as like for the new costume for Falcon. I'm really excited to see what that looks like in the next episode as well, and hopefully we get to see it. So that's the end of what happens with Falcon. And another major plot line in this episode was with John Walker. Now, if you've been seeing my previous reviews, I've really enjoyed John Walker as a character. I feel like he's one of the most layered characters in the MCU, and he just has so much layers in him, and he has conflicting ideologies, and I really like the way Wyatt Russell even played the character. So after he loses to Bucky and Sam, he's stripped of the title of Captain America because he murdered a guy. He's saying that all he's done is follow what the government told him to do. And that's kind of true, because they trained him to be a soldier. They didn't train him to be Captain America. So the whole Captain America thing just fell in front of him, and he had to do whatever with it, and that went south. So they strip him of the title of Captain America. He just gets out of there, and his wife is there with him. And this new person shows up. She called herself Val, and apparently this person in the comics is called Madam Hydra. So I'm guessing she's working for Hydra, or maybe even S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know. But she's kind of a double agent type person. This may be even setting up the Thunderbolts, because she tells John Walker that he did the right thing by killing the guy, and he took the serum. She knows he took the serum somehow. And she says that she'll call him, and he has to pick up the phone. So I don't know who she is. I don't know. Maybe she's the power broker in this show. Who knows? It could be anyone. I don't know. So after that, John Walker, he goes to Lamar's parents, and he tells them that he misses Lamar and he killed Lamar's killer. That's obviously a lie. He did not kill Lamar's killer. I mean, he is part of the Flag Smashers, so I guess he kind of killed a person involved in it. But really, the person that killed Lamar was Carly Morgenthau, and I'm guessing he's gonna go on a manhunt next episode after Carly. Now he's turning evil, and that's kind of like making me feel sad, because he used to be such a good character, such a great person, and now he's going down a dark path, which I don't want to see him go through. And after that, we see him finally in the post-credit scene, and we see him making his own shield. Obviously, this is not vibranium, so it's probably not as strong as the shield that Sam has. But I'm pretty interested to see how it will last in the actual fights and stuff. Maybe it's military grade metal, so it will be pretty strong, but not as strong as vibranium, obviously. So I'm hoping we get to see John Walker redeemed, because him as a character, I really loved him. I loved the way Wyatt Russell has been playing him. Hopefully he gets like some sort of redemption in the final episode. I'm excited to see what happens. There's a lot of unanswered stuff. Hopefully everything comes to a close really well with the finale. Because like I said, I don't know what the show's leading to. There's a lot of dangling plot lines, and I hope all of it is able to come to a close perfectly. So with that said, with my closing thoughts, as a whole, this was a great character episode. I feel like the character stuff is what this show does best. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I thought the whole boat montage stuff was a lot of fun. Thought the way dig deeper into the characters was great. So I really enjoyed it. Be sure to tell me down below in the comments what you thought. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content, and I'll see you next time. Bye.